Okay, and here's where it all comes together in the formulas that you'll use for both the end of chapter exam and for the certification exam if you choose to go that route. So the PMBOK guide talks about earned value analysis, EVA. And this is a system to assess the project work and the progress in the project. And it forms around the PMB. Remember, the performance measurement baseline is cost, scope, and schedule, as you see in the triangle there in the picture. I leave EVM just for now because it used to be called Earned Value Management, and frankly, it's the same concept. They update the names. Earned Value Analysis is what it's referred to as now, but the concept is the same. For every dollar I put into my project, I expect a dollar out. That money spent isn't lost, it's just converted to something else. And these formulas will help us measure why. But before the formulas, let's talk about the definitions. There's planned value, which if you look at the picture represents the schedule. And this is the work to be accomplished. At the very beginning of my project, all the work is to be accomplished. And so PV is actually equal to my budget at completion because all the work is still to be completed. Now, my earned value, EV, is related to scope or requirements, okay? And by definition, the shortest definition I can possibly give you is the work performed. And AC is actual cost. This is related to cost management or budget. And the shortest definition I can give you is costs incurred. Okay? So the PMBOK guide will talk about variance analysis. And this is actually a big improvement over previous versions of the PMBOK guide. So it's an explanation of cost and schedule and variance at completion. So let's look at those three formulas. For cost variance, I have CV. I have my earned value minus my actual cost. And this is really just giving me a measure of cost performance. Am I ahead or behind of the budget? Because it's cost. So do I have a deficit or a surplus? Of course, at the close of the project, my CV is going to equal the money spent minus budget at completion. Now my schedule variance, SV, is equal to earned value minus planned value. So it's the work done minus the work that was planned. Okay? And this is a measure now of schedule performance because it's schedule variance. Am I ahead or behind of my delivery date? When this equals 0, when SV equals 0, the project is, ta-da, done. Okay? So you may be behind or ahead on cost variance, schedule variance, but by the end of the project, the scheduled work is done, bam, it's complete. And then there's variance at completion. This is my budget at completion. What did I plan on? Minus my estimate at completion, which we'll talk about shortly. So, variance is a very important aspect, and it's going to drive us to preventive or corrective actions, which should make you think of change control, integrated change control. So this is all going to help drive control and drive changes. We also have two other terms, SPI and CPI, Schedule Performance Index, and this is a measure of efficiency. Same as Cost Performance Index is a measure of cost efficiency. So SPI is earned value divided by PV. Notice above, the variance is EV, for schedule, is EV minus PV. Here, the index, every index is a division, right? It's a ratio. The EV divided by PV. It's the exact same terms, we just changed minus to division. The cost performance index, same thing, is EV divided by AC. Look up above. Cost variance. Variance is subtraction. What's the difference, right? EV minus AC. Here, it's an index. That's division. It's a ratio. So we're talking EV divided by AC. If I'm under 1.0, I have a cost overrun. That's bad. If I'm above 1.0, it's good. I'm making extra money. I've got extra money because same for the schedule. If my SPI, my index, is less than 1, man, I'm falling behind. Less work was done. But if it's over 1, I'm getting more work done than I had planned. Okay. Then we also want to address trend analysis. And this is going to help us build the S curve, a curve that looks like an S, which shows you by period, remember time-bound, or cumulative overall how the project is performing. So we can do this by several formulas for estimated completion, and I have defined them all here, and they're explained in the PMBOK guide too. The most common is estimated completion is the actual cost plus the budget minus the earned value, the work that's been done. Okay? And the one I use actually most often is the second one, the budgeted completion divided by CPI, which is my spend rate, my index. How efficient have I been? If that's going to be the same, then it's BAC divided by CPI. Okay? And don't forget, in trend analysis, we have reserve analysis, which is used during cost control to monitor contingency and management reserves. And then I want to talk about TCPI, Two Complete Performance Index. So this is used when cost performance is required to be achieved with the remaining research. What I'm saying is, for the money I have left, I need to finish the project on time. So TCPI equals the budgeted completion minus the work done, or EV, divided by the budgeted completion, right, which was my overall plan, minus my cost. So it's the work remaining divided by the money remaining. How can I finish at my original budgeted completion? TCPI is going to give me that. Okay, all right. That was a good lesson. Then finally, control costs, the outputs. That's the only thing I didn't cover in the previous lesson, the outputs. Now that I have these tools to work with them, I have work performance information. Whenever I'm in control, my inputs are work performance data, and my output is work performance information outside of my integration knowledge area. In all the other control processes, work performance data is an input, work performance information is an output. Okay? I have my forecast because that's what the formulas are giving me. Those also can lead to change requests because I want to make changes if it's not on target. And that may lead to plan updates and document updates. Okay, here is a one-page summary, and you have the slide. I've provided it in the PDF. A one-page summary. It's also on page 267 of the PMBOK guide. But, oops, I jumped ahead there. There we go. But it's my one-page summary of all things cost. So notice my three pillars, my three core measures: earned value at the top, plan value, and actual cost. My actual costs are the costs incurred as of today. Plan value is the work to be done, and earned value is what has actually been done. And then I'm going to look at performance measures, and I have three. Cost variance we talked about, which is, notice EV is always first. Earned value minus AC. It's a variance. It's negative. Schedule variance. EV minus PV, the plan value. And variance at completion. We already addressed that. And on the right, you see the definitions or some rules that are important. Then I want to talk about measures of efficiency. We already addressed those. This is just a review. I have my CPI, my index. Every index is a division problem. It's a ratio. So my cost performance index, think of it cost. And if I always start with EV first, cost performance index must be EV divided by AC. Schedule performance index must be EV divided by PV. It's the only one of the variables left. Then I want to look forward when I forecast. And we talked about budgeted completion. That's my all-in budget, everything. TCPI, which we talked about, is the work remaining divided by the money remaining. So the formula is the budget at completion minus the work that's done, divided by the budget at completion minus the money spent. Okay. Estimate of completion has several formulas. The last one I kind of have grayed out. I just think it's too complex to use for any certification exam. It's too long, but you should be aware of it. An easy way to do it is my budget at completion divided by performance index for cost. And that's if CPI isn't changing. Okay? And then finally, estimate to completion. And this is the forecast of the cost to finish from this point forward. It's called estimate to completion. And there are a couple formulas there. PMBOK guide covers them very well. Page 267, form table 7-1, and Rita does also. So that's a summary. Okay, I hope you enjoyed it. I've enjoyed talking with you. I look forward to the discussions. I've already enjoyed some of them. And good luck.